What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is your review for Raising Kanan season 3, episode 7. So we start this episode off. Kanan is king of the hill, right? We got Ronnie and his goons going over across the hall to the white guy that's running the courier service, basically putting the fear of God into him. Now, we saw them go into the apartment, rough him up a little bit, bring him over to Kanan, and basically Kanan was letting him know, listen, my man Ronnie, that's my business partner, and he ain't like the fact that you threatened to go to the police. So of course now old boy is like, I ain't gonna go to the police. I was just threatening. Ronnie was like, threatening to do it is worse than doing it. And when he said it, I was like, damn, he got a point. I mean, if you gonna do it, just do it. The man done peed on himself and everything else. Now, I don't think they offed him, because while all of this was going on, Famous shows up. And you could tell that Famous was shocked as hell to see Kanan when he opened that door. Kanan talking about something, what you doing here? He said, look, bruh, I'm just here to get the rest of my stuff. I don't want no problems, okay? Just let me get my stuff and let me get the hell up out of here. So, Kanan says, look, let me go over here with Ronnie and make sure he don't kill this dude. And when I get back, you better be gone or it's going to be a problem. Baby, Famous packed up his stuff so fast to get up out of there. Now, he did take the weapon that he used to take care of the old boy, that other situation. And when he said his mama let him come home, and we see him go back home to his mama, and his mama let him move back in the house and everything, and I love you too, I'm sorry too. And he told his mama, look, I messed up. He said, I did some stuff that I'm just embarrassed to even tell you. And I don't know how serious, mama don't know how serious it is, but she was basically like, well, you here now, and I'm never gonna put you out again, like we'll figure out a way to handle it, but I didn't like it. So Famous is back home. Now we know that this ain't the end of Famous, but at least he's out of the day-to-day situation going on down to the apartment, okay? Now while this is going on, we see Rock rolling up down on the Korean. What was he was Korean? That guy that Unique was going into business with, with the Chinese restaurant. And at first, of course, he was like, thanks but no thanks. I gave it to Unique. Unique couldn't make it work. Now Unique is gone. And, at this point, I'm good. Like, I don't think you can handle it. Because, of course, Rock always gets that because she's a woman. I mean, even though Unique had to convince him, and basically Rock had to do the same thing. She had to let him know, look, you don't know what I can bring to the table. Like, I'm sorry Unique ain't get it together, but I'm telling you what I can do. She was like, give me a chance to show you. And he was like, all right, I'm going to give you a chance to show me. He was like, I ain't doing nothing on consignment. You pay what you owe when it's ready. When I deliver it, I want cash in hand. And, if you can't make it work, then we gonna cut it. Rock was like, that ain't going to be no problem. Okay. Now, this situation right here, we were talking about this last week on TSF. Shout out to TSF. Y'all make sure y'all catch our reviews over there on the Soul Firm YouTube channel. But we were talking about this last week about how smart Rock actually is. Because Unique couldn't make it work. I mean, to be honest with you, Unique just didn't have that thought, right? And clearly Ronnie didn't either, because what we end up seeing, I know I'm jumping ahead, but what we end up seeing the rest of this episode, we see how Rock brain works. Her and Marvin went down to the restaurant just like Unique did. Her and Marvin had a conversation with old boy just like Unique did. But Rock immediately, her mind went to a bigger picture. She was already thinking about expanding beyond this one restaurant. Rock was like, how many other restaurants do y'all own? No, because they were like, well, we don't own this restaurant. My uncle does. She said, well, how many restaurants does your uncle own? Uncle owns like 20 restaurants throughout New York, something like that. She said, well, let me meet your uncle. So we see Rock and Marvin with his number 23. That damn man, always eating. But we see Rock and Marvin sit down with the uncle. And Unique and Rock lets the uncle know, look, I want to run, I want to run my business through all of your establishments. And he said, and they sat there and negotiated a price. He was like, listen, I want a percentage of your profit. Like, I don't want a flat rate. I want a percentage of what you're making. Rock was like, okay. She said, let me see what the rest of these restaurants are looking like. We could figure something out. So the rest of this episode, we see Rock driving around town, visiting all these different restaurants, seeing deliveries, seeing the traffic, seeing the location. And you can see that Rock is going to figure out a way to bring her product in and out of these restaurants under the radar, making it look like deliveries from, like, because she actually went to a restaurant company to find out about how the delivery situation worked. They gave her the cold shoulder, but it don't matter. That's all. She got what she needed. So it immediately, like, this whole episode, it shows you the difference between how Rock's brain works and where Unique's shortcoming was, right? So now, while all of this is going on, child, I mean, of course, Ronnie scared the hell out of Famous, but that goes without saying. Now, down to the police precinct, we got Howard still trying to run interference with everything that's going on down at the police precinct. Now, he's still talking to the task force, and they talking to him about Marvin. Now, it sounds to me, now y'all correct me if y'all heard it or saw it differently. It sounds to me like he's trying to, like, maybe push towards allowing Marvin to take the fall, because I didn't see him doing a whole lot to try to deter them from them thinking Marvin had something to do with it. He was like, listen, like, I never really heard nothing about, Marvin and being connected with the mafia, but of course, they all in the drug business, so 1 + 1 gonna equal 2. And they were like, well, is he smart enough to run, the projects? And he was talking about anything is possible. Like, I don't know. While he's talking to the task force, he see Scrap's mother down there causing a scene, talking to her, the guy, the officer that she always works with. So Howard finds a way to finagle his way in the room to talk to Scrap's mom, right? Scrap's mom tells him, listen, somebody came and told me that they killed my son. I told you my son didn't take his own life, and now I know they did it. And Howard was like, well, how do you know? Well, somebody came and told me. Well, who told you? She was like, I can't tell you that. Like, that's the code of the streets. I can't tell you who told me. He was like, well, I can't take this seriously if you can't give me more information. Just because you telling me that somebody said it and that your son didn't do it, that don't do nothing for me. I need more information. So she ends up dropping the information. She said it was Lulu. Well, she said Lou Thomas. And of course, immediately Howard was like, God, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, these damn Thomases, I can't get rid of them. They're like roaches. They just keep coming. So he got Marvin in the other room, he's trying to run interference on. Then he got Lulu over here, he's trying to run interference on. So, of course he tells her, he takes the, the report and so forth and so on. Next thing you know, we see him meeting up with Rock, telling Rock, look, your brother is a loose cannon and you need to handle it. And of course, Rock was like, the only reason why you're even concerned is because this rolls back on you, because you the one that told me Scrap was an informant, and come to find out that shit wasn't true. But neither here nor there, Rock now knows that Luda went to Scrap's mama and spilled the beans. Okay, so we'll get back to that. Now, while this is going on, Marvin is still, I don't know where they're going with this storyline with Marvin and the dude from the newspaper. To be perfectly honest with you, at first, we talked about this last week too. And I was on the road that maybe he was an informant working for the police, but I'm totally off that road now. Okay, I have taken the exit. This dude is just a good old-fashioned fuck up. He got his kids in the car while he in the house getting high, right? So Marvin rolls up and sees that he's getting high. And he's talking to the dude. He's like, listen, you need to get your life together. Like, where's their mama? Like, who can help you? And he tells him, he said, listen, I'm here to help, but you got to get it together. And he really wants him to write this article on Juke, but he realizes just how bad this dude got it going on. And I don't know. This is a storyline that unless they really gonna bring something back around, I just feel like it's an unnecessary storyline. We know Power does this from time to time. They put these storylines in, they get us all invested, and it goes nowhere. It's just on a road to nowhere. But if this dude is not an informant, or this dude is not getting ready to write this article on Juke that's going to open up something else or expose the Thomas family or something, I'm not understanding why we are invested in this. I mean, the dude, he was in anger management. He a drug addict. He an alcoholic. He got the two daughters that the mama abandoned. Sound like the mama got a bigger drug addiction than he has. And Marvin, listen, I can appreciate that we are seeing a better, kinder, gentler Marvin. But Marvin don't need to be out here raising no two little white girls. I mean, I'm sorry. He don't need to be doing that. I don't know. We'll see where this whole thing goes, cause it's going nowhere fast for me. Okay. Now, while all of this is going on, Butter has booked their first performance. Child, they're gonna be performing down at the mall, opening up for Shanice. Okay, and they're having their first photo shoot, and of course, once again, the manager is telling them, "Listen, we're gonna take pictures, but we're gonna rotate who's in the front, who's in the lead, because y'all, again, I ain't figured out yet who's the lead singer, so I gotta see how everybody look in the different formations." Okay. Then we see Jukebox back at the recruiter's office again. What are we doing with this storyline? Is Jukebox going into the military or not? Like, is she gonna be with Butter or is she going in the military? Because she can't do both. So she's still like doing this whole thing with the army recruiter. Like, I'm confusion. Like, I don't know what we're gonna do with this. I don't know. Lulu drunk down at the studio. He's working on Famous's song, and at the end of the day, that the what's the 411, or who got the 411, or the 4 or the 111, whatever. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. I mean, we know the song. We can hear the song. You can find the song online. So I'm sure that's gonna get Famous hemmed up. I don't know where it's gonna get him in jail or in the ground, but it's gonna get him hemmed up. Now back down here to Butter. Aisha pregnant. Okay, she throwing up again. Now, the first time we saw Aisha throw up, we thought it was nerves. The second time we saw Aisha throw up, we thought maybe, okay, she was, she was feeling a little anxious. She couldn't get the dance steps right, whatever. But now she just throwing up. Okay, so she pregnant by somebody. I don't know the who, the what, the when, the where. I don't even know if that's important to the storyline. I don't think it's gonna be anybody we know. Maybe it's a way to bring a new character onto the show. But neither here nor there, child. She got a baby coming. Now that ain't confirmed. That's what I think. We see her, we see Kanan is down at the rehearsal, but we also see Crystal flirting with Kanan, right? So Aisha and Kanan heading off to the movies, and we definitely see that Jukebox is not here for Kanan's new group of friends. I mean, she's clowning him about his new group of friends, and letting him know, I know what it is, I know who those people are, and I know what it's about, and I know what you're doing. You need to tread carefully. So after Kanan and Aisha head off to the movies, Jukebox tells Crystal, "You better stay the F away from my cousin, because that's Aisha. I ain't trying to hear all of that." And Crystal told her to, go fuck herself, basically, So we see Aisha down at the movies with Kanan, and she ain't trying to put out, right? She telling him that he moving too fast. He trying to fill her up. He trying to do the things in the movie theater. And she tells him, "No, we moving too fast. I'm not really ready for all of that." So he was like, "All right, well, she said, "Well, I want to go home." He said, "All right." She said, you're not gonna walk me home, like take me home?" He was like, "You know how to get on the train by yourself." He said, "I'm gonna sit here and finish watching this movie." I said, Kanan is a dirty dog, okay? And then next thing you know, we see Kanan showing up down to Crystal's apartment. And she don't have no problem putting out. Now, for all of you power scholars, I don't know. We'll wait and see how that. But it's definitely gonna be some stuff, okay? Because I'll get back to that. I'll get to that in a second. So while this is going on, Marvin confronts Lulu and lets Lulu know, "Look, Dude, you done messed up. Your drunk ass done went down there to Scrap's mama and told Scrap's mama all about what we got going on. About what happened with Scrap. And Lou was like, I didn't do that. He was like, you absolutely did. Like, Rock's inside man done told us down to the police department. He ran interference, but you know what you gotta do. Like, you know how you gotta handle this. And Lou was like, damn, I didn't remember doing that. He was like, absolutely, because you falling into the bottle and it's causing problems for everybody else. So we need you to get it together, okay? Now, while this is going on, Ronnie and Juliana are down at the apartment about to get it in. Now, I owe everybody an apology because I didn't see this one coming. I don't know. Maybe because Ronnie is so cold and so... I just can't see him doing anything sexual. I don't know. Ugh. It's just... ugh. But neither here nor there, Juliana is like, listen, that Unique's girlfriend walks in. I don't even know why you still going down there. She talking about something. I just came to get some stuff. Ma'am, you shouldn't have nothing else in that house. What could possibly be there that you felt like you needed to go back to that house to get? You want Ronnie to kill you. That's what you want. You want to join Unique. So Juliana says, listen, this ain't that's not a good thing. Like she don't need to see us together. Like, that ain't a good thing. So Ronnie, of course, threatens her. Don't you see nothing, don't say nothing. I hate to see something happen to you. Okay, kind of situation. Now down to the precinct. What's Howard's partner? Her daddy down there cleaning out her desk. And of course Howard is like, well, if there's anything I can do to help, you let me know, kind of thing. And we see the daddy meet up with the girlfriend. And he apologizes to the girlfriend, and he said, I'm really trying to figure out why my daughter did this. Like, I know that I wasn't, the best father. I know I made some mistakes, but I'm really, really trying to figure some things out. Is there anything you feel like you need to tell me? And she was like, no. She said there was a lot of things on her. Some of it was for you, some of it was from me, some of it was the job. She said, but if things really started taking a downward spiral when she got caught up in that drug overdose of the girl on the Upper West Side. Like, that's when things really, really got turned around. Howard gets the job. Okay, he's gonna be working on a task force. They say they just got to do a final background check, and he should be in there like swimwear. Now, I'm wondering if something is going to come up on his background check from the point of view that he was an undercover CI. I wonder if maybe there's something going to come up from him when he was a CI and who he was connected to and who he was working with. Like, I don't know, because they made a point to talk about the fact that they have to do a background check, but everything should come back, good. But I don't know. And he looked a little nervous too, so I'm wondering if maybe with the background check something gonna fall out the sky or something. Jukebox goes down to Kanan's apartment, and his two thugs are in the hallway trying to stop her. And the one thing I love about Jukebox is Jukebox don't care who you are. Jukebox was calling them idiots, talking to them crazy. Ronnie came out there and was like, "Oh, that's Kanan's cousin." So she came in there. She talked to Ronnie crazy, and she talked to Kanan crazy. She said, "I told you don't fuck around with Aisha. She told me what happened with the movies, and I told you gonna mess up my music thing." And Kanan talking about something. Well, she more your speed anyway. He making jokes about it or whatever. So the two of them get into it, and she tells him point blank, like, "Listen, you really sitting here trying to act like you king of the hill. You up here trying to prove that that you can do this without your mama, and you trying to get your mama's approval." She was like, "You're not fooling me. Like, I know who you are. All this that you doing, you fronting." And she's saying all this in front of Ronnie. Ronnie peeping it, right? So she basically cussed Kanan out. And then she left. Ronnie talking about something. I could talk to her. And Kanan told him, "Oh, you ain't never gonna talk to her." He said, "My family don't have nothing to do with this business. Like, you ain't never gonna, like, don't even talk about approaching my family." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I said, "Okay." Woo, I see. So we see down at the club, Lulu's mama roll up on him to get some money. And she said, "Listen, your sister's short and I need some money." And he was like, "I can't help you." So he gave no, actually he did give her money. I'm sorry, and she told me some. This all you got? Marvin told me that you half owner of this club, and this all you got. So when she leaves, you know, the owner says, "That's your mama." He was like, "That's what they tell me." I said, "Oh wow." Now Jukebox went down to Rock and let Rock know what was going on with Kanan. And she said, "Listen, he changing. Like he rolling with, you know." She told him who he was rolling with. She told him, you know, I mean, she told Rock that he was rolling with, you know, what's his name, Spanks, Snaps, whatever, and all the things that's going on. So of course Rock know how deep Kanan really is in the game now, and she told him, she told she told Rock he different, like he changing. Marvin takes Lulu down to Scrappy's mama's house, and Scrappy and Lulu gotta kill her because then he did that. He did it, and of course, as he pulls off, he sees Scrappy standing in the window looking at him. You know, so that was pretty much the episode. We only had 3 more episodes left, so it'll be very interesting to see what they tie up versus what they're gonna carry over to next season. But let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.